In this video, we are completing the square, or in other words, changing this standard form equation into a vertex form equation, which looks like this. Firstly, the y-intercept of this equation is -5. As in a standard form equation, the c term is your y-intercept. That is really all this format can give you, besides your a term. Next, we are going to complete the square. First, we are going to make a perfect square trinomial. The first step is to put a line here. Oops. You won't need this term, -5. You won't need this -5 until the end. Next, you have to factor out the negative to isolate x squared. So negative times x squared. Negative 12x divided by a negative gives us positive 12x. To find the c term, I would have to find half of 12 and square it. Half of 12 is 6, and 6 squared is 36. Then we subtract it right away, so the equation doesn't change. Then we close our bracket and bring our leftover of -5 over. Oh, don't forget your y equals. For the next line, I'm going to have to factor this perfect square trinomial. So y equals negative, in a bracket, the square root of x squared is x. Always take the sign of your middle term. And the square root of 36 is 6. Don't forget your closing bracket and your square. Next, we have to take this -36 out. We do this by multiplying it by -1. -1 times -36 is positive 36. Then we put back our leftover. -5. Lastly, we just combine the leftovers. So positive 36, take away 5, is just 31. Plus 35. But not 35, 31. The vertex consists of your h term and your k term. So in our case, the vertex is -6, as the h term is always opposite to what you see, and positive 31, which is our k term. The step pattern is determined by the a value times 135. In this case, our a value is -1, so that means our step pattern is -1, -3, -5. So the equation of the axis of symmetry is just an equation consisting of the x term of your vertex. So axis of symmetry. In our case, the equation of the axis of symmetry is x equals -6, as -6 is the x term of our vertex. So the optimal value is either the max or min of the parabola and the y-intercept of the vertex. So in our case, the optimal value is a max, as the a value is negative over y term of the vertex, which is 31. And this occurs when x is equal to -6. So essentially we're just repeating the axis of symmetry equation again. So now we're going to find the x-intercepts of our equation. So let's rewrite it first. So the first thing we do is make y equals 0, as we are solving for x. Then we bring our 31 over, which then becomes a negative 31. Then Then we divide both sides by negative 1. Negative 31 divided by 1 gives us positive 31. Then we square root both sides of the equation. Don't forget your plus and minus sign. As the square root of 31 isn't a whole number, we will just leave it as is. Next, we'll bring our positive 6 over, which will then become a negative 6. Oops, wait, what the heck? And the negative 6 plus minus the square root of 31 equals x. The last step is to combine these two terms in a way. So negative 6 plus the square root of 31 gives us an x-intercept of negative 0.4. And negative 6 take away the square root of 31 gives us an x-intercept of negative 11.7. Let's just put these two numbers in brackets. Wait, okay, 0.4, nothing, 11.7, nothing, and we are done. And we got our two x-intercepts, and we're done. Yay!